You're listening to Life with Herpes, and this is episode 6. Of the podcast Life with Herpes, and I'm excited to be with you today. So this is a hashtag Ask Alexandra section, and I always love these because it is so much fun for me to receive emails from you with your questions. So if you want to submit a question, it is super simple. It is go to lifewithherpes.com, scroll down to the bottom of the page. It has the hashtag Ask Alexandra section. You click on that button and it takes you to a Google form where you submit your question. So I love getting these emails from you. Like I said, it is so much fun. And let's see, before I get into it, have you joined our Facebook group? I think you should join. It is uber safe, uber secretive, fun. We're over there. We communicate. It is a great way to have a family. You can ask other people questions. You can talk. You can create friends. And I love seeing new people come over. I love meeting you guys. Go over to lifewithherpes.com and scroll down to the bottom. It's next to the hashtag Alexandra section. You click join the Facebook group. I send you an email because I want to keep it so secretive and safe. I want to make sure that that we are getting the right people joining. I want to make sure it is for our community. And your friend of a friend of a friend of a friend is not going to know because it is a secret group in Facebook. So it is private, it is secretive, and your family's over there. We are there. Not your family, but I mean us as family. Like, we're family. So we're over there. Okay, this question is such a great question. They're all great questions. This is from Katie from Orlando, Florida. What's up, Katie? Who doesn't love Orlando, right? With Mickey and Minnie, and you guys have a lot going on over there. I was just there earlier this year at a podcast convention. Beautiful, right? Beautiful area. Well, who doesn't love Disney World? But thanks for submitting this, Katie. So your question is, can I pass it even if I don't have an outbreak? Quick answer, yes. Yes, you can. And I was going to say, I think this is how I actually got herpes. My partner did not show any signs of it, but he had it. So, obviously, as we know, when we have outbreaks, it hurts. You don't want to have sex, right? It's painful. So yes, even if you don't have an outbreak, yes, you can pass the herpes virus. And here's why. So an obvious sign of herpes is the blisters, the bumps, the redness, the itchiness, the pain, right? That is that's your body going, hey, I have herpes, right? It's coming up. You can have these same side effects on your mouth or on your genitals. For HSV1 would be your mouth, HSV2 would be genitals. But they kind of go back and forth, and yes, you can have the same symptoms on both areas. When you're first infected, it usually takes a couple of days, 2 to 10 days for them to show up. And then they go back they pop up and let you know in a very annoying, frustrating way. And then it goes into kind of like remission, or it goes dormant. It goes into your spinal cord, goes dormant, and then it pops up when it wants, especially when you don't want it to. So that's what a reoccurring outbreak is. Now, what happens when there is no outbreak is this thing called shedding. It is the virus itself in your nervous system that goes like, hey, I kind of want to like shake things off a bit, right? I want to shed. I want to get rid of my cells. I want to just shed things. At this point, we have no symptoms of shedding. Like, we don't feel it. We don't have an outbreak. Maybe you don't feel run down or anything like that. It is just the virus doing its thing. It is shedding. When you are shedding, that is when you can pass the herpes virus is called an asymptomatic period. And in fact, about 70% of transmissions occur during this asymptomatic transition, which kind of makes sense if you think about it, right? If you have an outbreak, you're not going to have sex because it hurts. So how else is it going to get passed? It's when you are not having an outbreak and it is asymptomatic. Again, this is called shedding. So in other words, anyone who is infected with herpes, the HSV1 or HSV2, does not matter where it is, if it's on your mouth or on your vagina or on your penis or on your balls, your scrotum. I'm not trying to be too grammatically or politically correct or whatever you want to say. If it's on wherever it is, it can be passed asymptomatically through shedding. So yes, it can be passed at any time. Why is this important for us to talk about? Because you need to tell your partner. He or she needs to know you have herpes. Just because you don't have an outbreak, just because you use a condom, and you think, well, if I don't, what's the word? If it's not here, if it's it's not broke, don't fix it, or no news is good news, or whatever you want to say. Hey, I don't have an outbreak, so therefore it's like disappeared, it's gone. No, that you still are very capable of passing it, and having to go back and tell somebody after you've had sex with them, oh yeah, by the way, I have herpes, I didn't tell you, is a much more difficult conversation than, hey, I have herpes, it can be spread anytime, here's what I want you to know about it, here's what I know about it. Hey, there's a podcast called Life with Herpes, just a little plug right there, if you want to learn more about it. But absolutely, you need to let your partner know that you have herpes, and it can be passed at any time. It is passed via skin to skin. So that is something that I really want you to know, that you are always at risk of infecting your partner. With that said, let me end on a high note. There are a lot of ways to prevent spreading it. That is another podcast I have, and I go really more into detail. But number one way, risk of preventing infecting your partner is communication. Really and truly, honesty and truth is always the best. But I do have another podcast on another Ask Alexandra saying, how do I prevent passing it from my partner? What are the best methods? So I do have that in the queue. I can't remember off the top of my head who submitted that question. If you're listening, don't worry, I will get it out there. But Katie, does this answer your question? I hope so. It is a great question. Can you pass it even if you don't have an outbreak? Yes. The truth is, yes, you can. And I think that is it for that question. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for your questions. Again, submit them. Go over to lifewithherpes.com, submit your hashtag #AskAlexandra. It is fun. Like I said, I love getting these emails from you and reading the questions. Please feel free. Do not be embarrassed. I can keep it anonymous if you like. I never used your last name, so do not worry about your last name, but I do use your first name. I think it's fun to put a connection to your first name and your city. If you elect not to have your first name out there, and I will only use your city. Again, it's fun for us to be like, oh, Orlando or San Diego, or like, oh, I've been there, or I have a friend that lives there, or whatever. I think it's fun for us to connect. Obviously, as you know, a podcast is worldwide, and we have people all over the world submitting their questions. So it is fun just to kind of put a pinpoint to where we are coming from. And if you just found out you're diagnosed with herpes, you are here at the right spot. Welcome to our community. Head on over to lifewithherpes.com as well. I have a ebook I really would love for you to read. It is the nine most effective over-the-counter home remedies, and they are effective. So I spent a lot of time putting that together, and I would love for you to download it. It's free, and just come over, say hi. I love meeting you all. All right, have an awesome rest of your day. Thanks so much for tuning in. Stay tuned for our next episode, and I will see you all soon. Bye.